Hello everyone, it is I, SciencePiper07, and today I will be reviewing the Jurassic World Dominion Massive Action Ampelosaurus. So, Ampelosaurus was a titanosaur sauropod from late Cretaceous France. It means vine lizard, and that's really all I know about it, and there's not a lot I can find online about it. But this is the Ampelosaurus. It is a nice model. It's large-sized, not quite pushing the boundaries of large, but it's getting there. It kind of makes sense, though. It is a titanosaur. It's very well done for the most part. Its main body is overall smooth, very few wrinkles, so there's not a lot of scale details, except here on the top of the front hind leg. There's decent details there. Speaking of the hind leg, very, very muscular. There's a bunch of spines or spike details on the entire body, so that's pretty nice. But otherwise, it's, especially as you can see on the tail, overall smooth and wrinkly. Not the best in terms of detail, but overall a nice model. It's got a nice short head of a titanosaur. Kind of looks funny, especially head on. It's actually a bit cursed. It's got 4 toes on the front foot, with the first claw being the largest. I think it's not supposed to have many toes, or claws anyway. But the feet are well done for a titanosaur. The coloration is overall pretty nice. It's this overall reddish brown for the main body, a darker brown for patterning, creamish yellow on the neck and lower jaw, yellow eye, appears to be hard to tell if that's a painted pupil or if it's the same color as the dark brown, but that's mostly because of how dark the brown is. And then nice light blue, possibly metallic coloration around the eye and then the head. So overall, a basic coloration, but then again, it's a sauropod. I personally couldn't think of a more complex coloration for a sauropod. It got the roof of the mouth is actually colored, which is tied, well, the mouth is tied to an action feature, so it kind of makes sense why it's colored at this size of a model. But even still, a sauropod with an open mouth, not unheard of for Mattel, but for an herbivore, that is very rare. This, again, is a nice model. I don't know a lot about Ampelosaurus to cover the details, besides the lack of wrinkles and the lack of an underside color, make it even smoother. So I guess I could just get into the articulation bits. And there's not a lot. It's a quadruped, so it's not going to have a lot of articulation. The front legs can stick out some. The hind legs can stick out also some, but significantly less, or just about the same. It just feels less. All 4 legs can move, but I don't think in a 360 circle because it's a sauropod. The hind legs are significantly higher up and thicker than the front legs, which is accurate. I just don't think the front leg would be this far down, joint-wise. Could be wrong. Don't know a lot about this guy. That's it for articulation, just the legs. Everything else is connected to an action feature. Sneakily enough, we've got the Jurassic logo, no DNA scan code. DNA scan code for the Jurassic World Facts app. As of 2022, when this guy came out for the Jurassic World Dominion toy line, Mattel switched the scan code from being on the foot to being somewhere on the body, where you just pull it up, act like you're taking the DNA, and then scan it. Personally, it's not a bad change. I disliked it at first, but now it's a pretty cool additional feature. So, the tail is connected to the head in multiple different ways. First, for action features, if you move the tail side to side, you move the neck side to side at both joints. If you move the tail up and down, again, head moves up and down at both joints. The tail can also move in a 360 circle, which will result in the head going in a 360 circle. For the most part, it's easier to do with two hands. And there's a button on the tail, which is relatively short, accurate for a dinosaur. Press the button, and it snaps the mouth shut. Now, my particular model, I can find a way to, well, I was used to be able to, I think it's changed now, but I was able to find a way to keep the mouth shut without having to press the button, which makes it look a lot better. Now it looks more like a Ampelosaurus. Still looks cursed from head on, but not as bad when the mouth is open. And speaking of that, the tongue has some detailing I'm seeing, but when the mouth is shut, the teeth perfectly fit inside the mouth. It has lips, which is good. Kind of makes sense Mattel would do that for an herbivore, but it's accurate because it has lips. And yeah, that was the Massive Action Ampelosaurus for the Jurassic World Dominion toy line in 2022. It's got a pretty decent action feature. It's nice. The mouth part is a bit cursed, but they did similar action features for their other Massive Action species, so I can't complain that much. This guy was about $20 or $22 back in 2022. Possibly could be about the same now, not entirely sure. And again, I would say more about its overall model if I knew more about Ampelosaurus, but I don't know a lot about it, so that's really this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you again next time. Goodbye.